Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Duo Group Ironman. Pretty eventful video last video. Got a new pet, unlocked the best in slot mage boots in the game currently until maybe they someday add an upgrade to the upgraded boots. And I went a little bit dry at DKs. Here's the current collection log for anyone who didn't see it last video, but that's okay because I have the Rex pet, so that kind of makes up for it. I did not get this pet last video though. I got this over a year ago. I wanted to try out a duo Bandos method where I would be using the Bofa because I have the Bofa and it's untradeable, so I wanted the Archer's Ring for that, and my duo teammate Spook Dog would be tanking, so I don't know if she would use the B ring for that, but it'd of course still be nice to have a B ring. I thought these would be relatively easy upgrades to get, but after like 3 or 4 or something DK's tasks last video, I did not end up getting either of them, so I tried, but I just want to go to Bandos. So we are going to go to Bandos this video once I gear up and figure out what the DPSs are for different gear setups and whatnot. Here's both of our collection logs up on screen. For some reason, I really felt like we had a lot more than 130 combined KC, but we do not. Our first drops though, we each got tacits, which is nice because it wasn't one of us getting 2 of them, so we each have them for our collection log. And it's also nice because that's actually an upgrade for the DPS, whereas if we got BCPs, that's not technically an upgrade to the DPS because it's the same strength bonus as torsos. But of course, BCP would still be a nice upgrade for us to make. We need Bandos boots for the Master Clue step, and then Bandos hilts because BGSs would be nice for a lot of things. It'd be nice to have that for Corp too, but we don't need it for Corp. If we don't get BGSs though, we'd have to get another Fang for Corp. Let's run a few different DPS calcs here. So with my best melee setup with the Abyssal Tentacle, about 4.3 DPS. Melee setup with Osmumtum's Fang, 4.06 DPS. With that said though, I think that Osmumtum's Fang might be bugged with this DPS calculator built into Runelight, where it might not take into account the accuracy roll check thing, so maybe Fang actually is quite a bit better. And the reason why I say that is because I was checking on the wiki here for the Bandos strategies, and it says Fang is best in slot, even better than Scythe. So maybe Fang actually would be best. I'll use a third-party DPS calculator to figure that out. So the Runelight calculator must be wrong. I just Googled OSRSBeatz calculator and found this website. And so the results say that Fang in this case would be about 5.3 DPS. So yeah, that's quite a bit more than the Runelight one. I don't know if Runelight also takes into account the Din's Bulwark's passive effect, so I'm just doing it on here as well. If I were to be the tank with it, I'd have 2.8 DPS. My range setup appears to be the best though, with over 6 DPS. And just for fun, if I was using magic, I'd put the imbued Seer's Ring in the calculator. It'd be 3.7 DPS. I've gone back to the classic DPS calculator because I always find this one just to be the most comprehensive and up-to-date. The one by, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Bitter Kokia. The left side is me using my best melee setup, while the right side is me using my best range setup. And you can see without hitting a Warhammer spec, it's over 11% better to use Bofa. But if we hit 1 Warhammer spec, then the melee setup would be about 2% better. Anyways, first I'll show you my gear setup. I will be ranging. I have Bones to Peaches, the Warhammer, and the Vernic for the spec, the Ancient Scepter for the blood spells. Maybe I'm forgetting something, and also the ratios of the supplies I'm sure will get changed over time. And we joined the party together in the Hub Party panel plugin. Here you can see what my teammate Spook Dog has on. She's rocking the Guthans. We need a Bandos and Zami item, so I figure Bandos Tacits would be slightly better than Chain Skirt for tanking, along with the Unholy Blessing. Instead of using Fang and Crystal Shield, we'll just start her with the Bulwark because she's never tanked before, so I feel like this might be an easier way to ease into it. She's also got Bones to Peaches, Lunar Spells for Potshare, as well as Venge, and the supplies again will probably change over time once we figure out how to optimize it. Getting KC with the Bofa and the range setup is super nice. You don't have to move around. So you know Bandos attacks every 6 ticks, and the Bulwark is every 5 ticks.
Okay.
So that means that if you're going to be like trading 2-to-1 hits, that means on the 5th tick, like that you're hitting, you have to step under in order to get 2 hits to 1 hit, because otherwise if you wait 1 extra tick, then Grardor will be able to hit you again. So it's like you guys both, like when you step out, you guys will both hit on the same hit, and then 5 ticks later, or 5 ticks later, you'll hit again. But if you wait 1 more tick, then he'll be able to attack you again. So you'd have to run under like tick perfect. What we could do starting out though is you could just stand there with the Bulwark and either like just straight up face tank him the whole time, or you can do 1 hit and then step under and then wait for me to do like 2 hits or something and then step out. So that way, like when you're under Bandos, he'll still be aggro to you, but he won't be attacking me because of that. So You could just do that,
Yeah.
just till you get used to it, since you're new to it. And then eventually you might get confident with being tick perfect and just being in the room. Okay, yeah, so if you tag all for each of the minions, then you could tag a specific color. So I'll make the major blue, the ranger green, and then the meleeer will be red. Nice, and then switch into your guthans.
Should I kill the minions in a specific order?
I don't know if it matters. I'll kill the major.
Okay.
Unlucky. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so here's me. Okay, so I'm gonna step out, boom, hit him, and then step back under, and click him to hit, boom, and then step back under right away, and then boom, and then step back under right away. This is our Bandos practice.
Where should I stand?
You could stand in the middle, and then I'll stand in the corner up here. So yeah, we'll start like this. Make sure you just attack right away. Oh yeah, get your Warhammer spec in. We'll just alternate Warhammer specs each kill between the two of us. It's a bit easier when they're all aggroed on me, huh?
Yeah.
Does the major have any defense? I don't know. Or any mage defense? He has a high mage level, so I don't know if I can hit him. It doesn't look like it. Okay, I think new plan will both attack the major after Bandos goes down. I could freeze the melee minion after the kill. Should be dead. I'll freeze this guy. No, I won't. Now I'll freeze him. Okay. And over to the major. Nice. Okay. The goal is really just for you to stall Bandos as long as possible so I can get as much DPS in, but also not stall too long to the point where he aggroes onto me. So you're like those pet services, pretty much. Oh my gosh, a Dragonstone. Do you know how many Dragon Warhammer Bandos pets that could have been? I might have to tell you out if they're aggroed on me after this.
Oh.
Yeah, they're on me. Just see what the drop is,
Cool.
I guess. If you get, oh, okay. Whew. Okay, let's see that. Yeah, that was an 18 kill trip. Nice, nice. Well, we were getting like, before we used to get like 20 to 30 kill trips, but we're also kind of like learning still, so. Ooh, don't come to my POH.
Oh. Why?
No reason.
Okay. What was that?
Nothing. So if I crush these up, then I could add them, is it 4 per potion? Okay. If you don't know what Divine does, it keeps your stat boosted to whatever the max amount of whatever the potion would normally take you to, so you don't go down 1 per minute for the 5-minute duration of the potion. After 5 minutes, it goes all the way back down to the original level. So 1 full potion would last for 20 minutes. So yeah, maybe I'll keep on bringing 3 divine range pots. And that is now also minus 2 more bank slots for these. There's someone under you. Is that an Ironman? Oh, it is.
Oh, I guess they just went in.
But the flame's not there, so... Oh, never mind.
Oh, it just...
Okay. Well, now we know that Ironman and Group Iron share the same instances. Oh, the downside, though, of using the divine potions is that you take 10 damage when you sip them. But it's worth it. So it looks like 1 dose of the divine range pot will get me 3 kills on Bandos.
It's so hard to stay under him. Even spam clicking.
You kind of get used to his movement after a bit. Like, you'll see he doesn't move the direction that you would think an NPC would normally path. Sometimes he'll kind of walk weird, like sideways, like moonwalking. Now that we're a bit more experienced with the method, here's a full kill run through. First, I need to make sure my prey range is up before Grard respawns, because he could immediately do a range hit if he aggroes my teammate at the start. I think it's random who he chooses to aggro at the start, so the tank needs to make sure to attack him, otherwise he could aggro the attacker and that would be a bit annoying. Bandos has 2 attacks, a melee hit which has a 2/3 chance of happening, and a range hit which has a 1/3 chance. The melee hit has a max of 60 and the range hit hits between 15 and 35. However, the range hit will also hit every player in the room. Both attacks can be completely avoided if praying correctly, so if you're not the tank, then you want to pray range to avoid the boss's range attacks. Generally, if you're the tank, you'd pray melee, but I think there's certain setups, like with full justy or something, where praying range would end up being less DPS taken by the tank. But in this case, the DPS calculator said that with this tank setup, that praying melee would be better. If my teammate had a bit more experience, I'd say we should try out her using Fang with Crystal Shield if she was able to trade 2-to-1 hits, but that requires being tick perfect since you're using a 5-tick weapon on the monster with a 6-tick attack speed. So in this case, like I said earlier, the goal is really for her to stall under Bandos as long as possible so I can DPS, but not stall too long to the point where he changes aggro. I try to anticipate Bandos dying so I can freeze the melee minion ASAP, Spook Dog changes into Guthans, and then we kill the Major. And after that, generally I'll heal on the meleeer and she'll heal on the ranger, but I'll get more into the minion tactics later in the video.
I really shouldn't be the one taking because you're gonna end up getting a pet.
Well, maybe if you had Bofa, then...
I'll get it someday.
Oh, Sunday. Wait, today's
Someday.
Sunday. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm getting it today.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Your
I don't-
inventory's full. Okay, never mind. Do you know, like, when he switches aggro, do you realize, like, what happened each time that happens?
Kinda. I mean, I know it's because I stay under too long. It's just, like, hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're, like, learning and realizing and improving from learning from past experiences, yes. That's the best thing about RuneScape.
Learning is so fun.
Frozen. Oh!
No.
Yeah. Bittersweet, bittersweet. Cool to see drops, though. Of course. Probably just do one more kill this trip, because I'll be out of Divine. So if I'm out of that, it's kind of pointless for the two of us to go on, since I'm the DPSer. I am now a General Grardor veteran. 100 KC. Been around the block a few times, you could say. I would not have thought that range pots would be the limiting factor, but it was 30 kills this trip. I don't know if we call that a success or not. I mean, no, we're learning and having fun, right?
Yeah.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're improving? Or...
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously that trip was like twice as long, so I guess next trip I should bring 4 range pods instead of 3. New inventory setup. I got 4 divine ranging pods this time, and I did remember to bring the imbued heart, but I still have to saturate this, which is like 200 Muspa KC. So maybe when Spook is asleep or busy or just doing something else, I can do Muspa in between other stuff. She's running low on house tablets, and it looks like I have a bunch of them, which I don't think I would ever use, so I'll just dump maybe like 250 of them in the group storage. I feel like there's somewhere I would use them, but I can't think of anywhere. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Just put those in there. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Yes. Yeah. We're what, 2 kills in? That's 2 pink texts today. That's beautiful. They're 1 tick off. You can prey flick them.
No thanks.
Do you know how that works? Like when the damage is calculated?
Isn't it like when they shoot it or like right before they shoot it?
Yeah, it's whenever the animation is. So your prayer has to be on the tick the animation happens. Oh, that is a God Sword shard.
It is. Is that one that we like need?
I don't remember. We'll see after the trip though. One more hit on him and he'll turn. Oh, that timing. Oh. Now here's more in depth about how we deal with the minions. As I said, I always freeze the melee minion and then the two of us kill the major first. It's nice when the major and ranger are off tick so I can prey flick them. And there probably is some kind of like starting positions maybe to guarantee they're off tick from the start of the fight, especially because this is an instance. So I think they're always guaranteed to start at the same positions. But it's not really a big deal to us because we're not prey flicking during the fight anyways. It's more for like solos, you gotta worry about that. Usually right after the major dies is when the meleeer becomes unfrozen. And this is where different options come into play. The goal is for us to heal as much as possible at this time, And with the hub party panel plugin, we can always see how much health the other one has. You can see here my teammate had already healed up to full, so I decided to stack the minions to heal from both, because at this point my teammate doesn't need to heal anymore. If I was super low health, I'd ask her to stop attacking them so I could heal the maximum amount from both of them before they die. But when I'm somewhat close to full health already, it doesn't really matter. Otherwise, our default normally is for me to attack the meleeer and she attacks the ranger. And even if the minions were aggroed on her after Bandos died, the meleeer will actually switch aggro to me when he's frozen and I start attacking him, so she doesn't have to worry about prey flicking the meleeer. I don't think I show any examples of it here, but a lot of the time I do end up taking off the crystal top and bottom just to have even slightly more magic accuracy if I really get desperate. This clip has a couple good examples of the minions already being off tick. So right here you can see the major and the ranger are already 1 tick off, so I don't have to worry about off ticking them, which I'll show you in just a bit here. After the major died, I saw my teammate had pretty much healed back to full, so I knew I could heal on both of the 2 remaining minions. You saw previously I would freeze the meleeer next to the ranger, then step back to heal. But in this case, I noticed the ranger and the meleeer happened to already be off tick, so I decided to just prayer flick between the 2 of them. And I don't know which would be considered lazier, freezing and stepping back, or just standing there flicking. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. The major and the ranger are on the same tick. It is the end of the world. What can you possibly do? The minions attack every 5 ticks, so on the 4th tick you step under one of them, and instead of attacking on the 5th tick, it'll move on the 5th tick and then attack on the 6th tick. So now you can prey flick them like 3 times before you kill them. So yeah, this is probably a bit more beneficial when soloing, but either way, I hope this helps. I don't know about you, but I feel like I've learned stuff.
Yeah.
About the boss, like with the freezing and the off-ticking the minions, and just, I don't know, just cool learning this method.
Oh, I actually got a KC that time.
Oh wow, holy. 37 kill trip. I have 6 brews. I see you have like 5 more brews, so yeah, this time it was prayer that was the issue. I'll probably just bring 1 panic brew going forward, and then the rest will just be more prayer pots. I'm really happy with that though. 3rd trip and we get 37 kills, only because we didn't have the proper ratio of supplies. Oh yeah, if it was like an hour ago, over an hour ago, we got the hilts. I forgot about that. That's so good. Let me check the drop rate. Hilt is 1 out of 508. So between us now, we have 3 shard 1s, 3 shard 2s, and 1 shard 3. So the infamous Godsword shard 3 is what we have to get more of. But we can always just swap the blades whenever. But I mean, if we both want to be able to use BGSs, then of course we're going to need 2 blades. And another hilt. As you can see, my new inventory setup for Bandos has a lot more prayer potions, less brews, and I'm actually going to substitute the brimstone ring I was using before with the light bearer ring. I think with the light bearer ring I could probably restore like maybe 80 or 90% for every single kill, so I could definitely get at least 1 if not 2 Warhammer specs every kill this way. Basically, I think the overall average DPS per kill will be increased by having an extra Dragon Warhammer spec every kill over having the brimstone ring instead of light bearer. By the way, I brought the light bearer, so I'll be able to spec every kill. So you can just like spec whenever your spec is ready, but I'll have 1 to 2 specs per kill.
Okay.
Super always on the first kill of the trip, I swear. I've realized we spend way more time dealing with the minions and trying to balance our health and supplies than we do actually fighting the boss. Yeah, that's why you have to have your prayer up at the start.
I'll protect you.
The divine's gonna go to waste. Oh my god.
Don't die.
I died.
No.
You can finish the kill. Let's see what the damage is. 166k, that's not bad. I'll admit, in the background of everything else that's been going on, I have not been doing herb runs, and really the only trees I plant are the calquats and the mahoganies, just because they're massive XP drops. You don't have to like do them multiple times throughout the day. But I figure maybe one background thing I could start doing when I'm like in between activities or waiting for a spook for something, I could start making compost. So eventually, if/when I do decide to get back into herb runs, I'll have a bunch of compost made. But I don't know if I'll actually do herb runs very consistently ever again, because since I plan to just PVM indefinitely on the account, I'll get a ton of just straight up herbs from that. I also don't really have too many seeds at the moment either, because I use them all to max, but I also get a bunch of seeds from PVM. And it's nice to see I still have a bunch of volcanic ash left over after the maxing grind. If you're curious, by the way, how many charges I have in here, it's not a lot. I think the cap is 10k and I have 400. Wait a second, why is it called bottomless if there's a cap to it? Yes, I still have not figured out any other thing that I should be doing with my AFK time, so I've just still been fishing Karambwans ever since I maxed, and there is 101 fishing. Before we started Bandos this video, I checked the crystal armor to see how many charges it has to compare to after the video, and I ended up using about 500 charges per piece, so 1500 charges total, and we did 112 kills this video. So it comes out to using about 4.4 to 4.5 charges per kill, assuming you're using the full set. I'm very glad we got a very important item, the Bandos hilt. So we have our first BGS now. Spook's gonna be busy the next couple days working on a video, so I'm gonna be taking a break from Bandos for the next video, or maybe if she finishes her video, maybe we'll do some more Bandos next video too, but I think it's time to saturate the heart, so we'll go back to Muspa in the next video. With that said, make sure to check out my duo teammate SpookDog's channel, linked below in every video description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again next time.